What's going on, people? Welcome back to another John Sinclair TV. Back again. I've got another member of that Newcastle Fans TV. He's an absolute legend, and we love him to bits. And he's known everywhere in the Northeast. Is Lee, my guy? How are you doing?
Champion John, thank you for having me. I was just rocking the music behind in the scenes there. So yeah, good upbeat music. Yeah, I'm fantastic. I've been enjoying the hot weather. So may it longer continue. And a couple of weeks left until pre-season starts. So bring it on.
Absolutely. Are you off to America?
I am off to America in when's it? It is literally in 2 weeks, isn't it?
It is.
So I'm looking forward to getting over there. So yeah, interacting with all the Americans and all that in the 3 games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Fantastic, fantastic. So guys, if you like the video, like what you see, please give it a like. And if you're new to the channel and like what you watch, then smash the subscribe button, please. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p, and if you do become a member, you'll be automatically entered into a draw to win £50 of e-voucher at NUFC. And if you like to super chat or donation, then just give what the channel is worth. And let's go on to some comments before you could ask Lee the first question. And thank you, Leslie. I hope you're okay. Thank you very much indeed. Hi to Les again. Hi to Paul. Welcome to the chat, mate. Hi to Paul Robson. Welcome. Hi to Andrew B. It's good to see you on the game, mate. I hope you're fantastic. And hi to everyone else in the chat as well. So, Lee, the first question I'm going to ask you is, where were you brought up and when did you first fall in love with Newcastle United?
So, it's strange because the hospital I was born in doesn't exist anymore. Your infant school, your primary school, and your comprehensive school all don't exist either. So they've all been knocked down. So I was born in the General, which is just literally a mile and a half up from St. James's Park. And then when I was 1 or 2, I lived down in Newburn. Then we moved over to Runsgill, Wrighton, and I found myself in Bladen now. So I've been on the other side of the water. But I have, and then my love for football was strange because I felt I got into football quite late. I was like maybe 8 or 9. And then my first ever game was actually, funny enough, was against Gateshead at the International Stadium, which is actually happening in a couple of weeks again. So I'm going full circle again, where we won 4-0. And I just remember, obviously, it was the 95-96 season, pre-season. We won 4-0. And then I didn't go to a game until, for a good, must have been about 4 or 5 years, until I was old enough to start going on my own. And this is when I was going to regular games under Bobby Robson and obviously met a few of the players and as a young teen and growing up. But yeah, that's where it all stemmed from.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, under Bobby Robson, we enjoyed his football, didn't we, Lee? We loved his football. We loved his passion. We loved the way he managed our club and got us 2 Champions League.
It is. We interviewed Sir John Hall, and it was incredible. I went in his house, and he was saying that Keegan was fantastic, but what Bobby Robson did, he kept us in Europe every season, whether it was a Champions League or whether it's Europa League as well. So yeah, it was a sad day when they sacked him, because I think that was a really, really bad sacrifice to give that up. And obviously Graham Souness came in, and then we kind of fell down, and obviously Ashley came in and what have you. But the positives are we're back. We're back now, and we're amongst the big time again, which is nice to see, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're definitely in the big time as of today as well. And listen, it's fantastic being a Newcastle fan right now. And listen, we just got a long way to continue. And also, one day, let's win something, eh?
Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm sick of having a cold heart, because I want this, the beating drum and the Geordies in the northeast. And across, like yourself, you're a Bristolian. Well, you're adopted Bristolian now, aren't you, John?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's the beating of the heart, isn't it? Like, you want Newcastle to be right up there, and we are there. And we've had like absolute, pardon me French, an absolute shit show under Ashley, and now it's come around good. And I think it's the start of things that are coming. That we got beaten in a cup final. However, it's good experience, because that'll come back. It might not be this season coming up. It might be the next following season, but we're knocking on the door, and it's just a breath of fresh air, man, isn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely right. I mean, look, end of the day, I mean, we've got new owners. They come in and they give us exactly what we want, Lee, and long may it continue. So
Well, the thing is, I'm still standing, and I think you are as well, John. We've been through absolute the mud, so we're back.
Yes, absolutely. We're back with a vengeance. Let's go on to the next question. When and why did you start your YouTube journey? Obviously, Newcastle Fans TV.
Well, I started, I'm one of the older ones on. I started way back when it was McLaren, and my God, I mean, the football under McLaren was a joke, and I wasn't like full time as what we were now. It was more of a case of I was doing it every 3 days or so. So I was doing a match reaction, and I was new to YouTube, and I've always wanted to express like my thoughts on Newcastle, and obviously YouTube's now a new media outlet, which a lot of people can just hit record and off you go. So with all of that gave us a platform to speak. And then I brought Will in, which was just me and Will, and then obviously we rebranded, changed the name, and we brought more people in as we went along. And it's a learning curve even now after 7 years of doing YouTube. I'm still learning because that horrible thing called the algorithm is always changing. So, but yeah, I enjoy it. That's why I do it. I didn't, just come on camera and think of money. It's not the way forward. We didn't get paid. We do it for the love of talking with Newcastle, and we've done big things at Nftv, and I'm really proud of where we came.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's just so cool. I mean, look, I did myself a YouTube journey for only a couple of years, sort of thing. Like, I'm still a baby anyway, sort of thing. I've still got a lot to learn.
I remember, John, when we were doing the fan cams, you popped on one. I remember you were just walking past. You must have been at the game. Remember, you just popped on. That would have been like, when was that? 2018 or something?
Yeah, something like that. You're right, because it was on the Melbourne stand as well, wasn't it, at the bottom?
Yeah, we filmed there. Then, yeah, I think we were one of the first that were doing it, and then. Yeah. Well, we didn't really miss the fan cams. They don't bring much to us, but I remember that was my first ever meeting, I think.
And I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's just the beginning, and I thought I want to go on this sort of thing, put my name forward, put my face to it as well, make your channel look good. And I thought I was going to be nervous, but I didn't fall out of place, and I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, man.
It is pretty daunting when someone shoves a camera in front of you and right, okay, go and speak.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. And got one from Jules as well, just a quick one before we go on to your next question. Hi, you're massive welcome to Lee. Can I just say how amazing the work Newcastle Fan TV do for local charities? Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we try and get at least 1-2 a year. We mix in with football because that's what we're audience like. So, and it also shows like we're personalities off a lot more, that we're not just talking football. We can use a bigger platform to help. We've helped Bobby Robson's foundation out. We've helped Bradley Lowry out in the past, and obviously the foundation and the food bank as well, because it's in a poor state, the Northeast, and we just want to help. So yeah, I think that's the least we can do. So, but that was a nice comment. Thank you, Jules.
I think Jules will be very happy with that as well, Lee, and she's welcome too. Let's go on to the next one.
That's what friends are for, right?
Yes. I met Jules loads of times, and she's lovely, absolutely lovely. No problems at all whatsoever. She's so polite, and so well-mannered too. We've all had our dark days following our football club. What kept you personally supporting Newcastle?
Oh, don't go breaking my heart.
Elton John would have been proud of
that. You would have. I mean, it's I think it's hope. I think that's what it's down to. It's like, because you think obviously the dark times, a lot of it was under Ashley, and you think to yourself, what's happening? Because we used to go into games and think, oh, it'd be great to get a point today, it'd be fantastic. Now the mindset's sort of changed. It's like, right, how we're won 4 in a row, 5 in a row, we're gonna get Villa away, we're gonna go and win. It's totally different mindset. So for me, it's more of having hope that eventually he'll be gone. It was that famous Kevin Keegan quote, wasn't he, that you'll get your club back, and we got it back, and 13 years was too long. But it felt like it was a chokehold on you, that you just couldn't breathe with Ashley in charge. And just thank God that he's gone, because you've seen it now. The last 18 months, all the fan base are just absolutely buzzing, aren't they?
I totally agree. We just got to get on with it as well, sort of thing. Like, we've all been through the dark days. You've been through it as well under the Ashley era, and we just had no hope under this owner.
Well, I'm lucky that, and you'll be lucky as well. I've seen like people under the age of 25 have only really ever known Ashley. I mean, I was young enough to have Sir John Hall and Kevin Keegan, and then Bobby Robson shortly after that. And this was like mint. If we weren't competing for the league, we were released in a FA Cup final or a semi-final. Then Europe, this went on for good from 92, 93 when we got back in the Premier League, all the way up until probably when Souness first took over. We're competing for something, and then as I say, it's been an absolute shit show since.
Yeah.
But happily the owners are now here.
Yeah, he's done 50 million as well. Graham Souness, he was never the man for Newcastle United, and he should have been sacked at the end of that particular season as well, to be fair, because I think it was awful, really awful. There's better managers out there. Should have kept Bobby Robson, by the way, to be fair, until the end of that season, if that needs to be. But
yeah, it was awful when Bobby was gone, because Souness was coming, because there was that rumours going around that, the dressing room was just a, you had Boya, you had Dyer, you had Woodgate, Bramble, all on the piss and not having the respect for Bobby Robson. See it remember West Ham, I don't know if you've seen the clip on YouTube when West Ham were playing in pre-season. Dyer found out during the game, it was over in Asia, and he was absolutely devastated, and he realised that, fucking hell, I should have treated him much better. But yeah, God rest his soul, absolute legend. Love Bobby a bit, love him.
Yeah, absolutely, he's a legend, and it was so sad. I mean, he's no longer with us, unfortunately, and do you know what? We never could forget the great man. Do you know what I mean? He's a granddad of English football for me. Bobby Robson's a legend, always be a legend, and you know what? If you go to my favourite manager, back then it'd be Bobby Robson. So, yeah. Yeah,
I love Bobby Robson. But hey, let's talk positive, because the back on.
Absolutely right. And this next question as well, have you had dark days as a YouTuber? If so, how did you move on from negativity to then go on to grow your amazing channel?
Well, thanks for saying it's an amazing channel. I think it's more of the workload. I think I get stressed out with. I think you'll probably notice yourselves that putting on camera is great, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And it was a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, I was doing literally everything. I was editing, I was uploading, I was designing thumbnails, I was running the socials. It was just, I felt like a burnout. I think it's important that sometimes you've got to also just take a step back and have a bit of a rest, a day or two. But, it's very rare I have a day off, because if I'm not on camera, I'm doing something else. So that was probably me the worst point, but I got through it. And as I say, I've got a fantastic team. I've got a couple of, if I had call them like, if I was in the army, I would say I've got a lieutenant on my right. I've got a general on my left, and that kind of stuff. So I've got a little help, and I've got a couple of close allies in Nftv who will take the weight off my shoulders, which is massively appreciated. They know who they are. I don't have to big them up, because they'll probably be in the live chat. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And on a more positive note, what are the highlights of you experience as a YouTube creator?
Oh, that's a tough one. That highlight, I think it's got to be the people that come on largely. As I say, we've had like Alan Shearer on 2 or 3 times. That's mental. And people like that going to Sir John Hall's house, and just all the ex-footballers and stuff like that. And I think, both the owners follow him on Twitter, which is mental. I mean, Jamie Rubin and my dad follow on Twitter. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and think, what's going on? It's the little things like that. You can always talk about your analytics, like, the amount of subscribers you've got, or how many watch time and all this sort of stuff, or how many views and all that. But it's wow, you know what I mean? And it's been asked to be part of like a TV show or an advert or whatever podcast and stuff like that. I think that's where the highs come from for me. What about you?
For me, I had Steve Veer from the channel as well, Sam as well last week. They were both fantastic. I
had Killer on. You had Killer Klein on
last week as well.
That's a good one, mind. Yeah, we've never had him on, so you've got one up on us.
Wow! Yes, get in, man.
Sam, get your act together.
Top corner, man.
Last Sam, get your act together. If you booking,
exactly. Get your act together. Be positive, be passionate. Yeah, Killer was fantastic. He really was. And me and Louise was on last week, and Louise got him on. And thanks to Louise as well for helping us along the way. But
Kevin Keegan have always said that was his most important signing. was killed time.
Because he got us up, we got him then to keep us up, and then after that,
he did, didn't he? He signed him, then it was like a rocket man. We just literally flew up the league. We got promoted, and yes, he wasn't around in the Premier League much, but you know, he was the most important signing of Keegan.
100%. And then that's why he's a legend in my book, because look, at the end of the day, he just defends properly. There's no frills. He don't want to see any techers from him. He just gets on with it, does the job. Happy days.
Fantastic. I would have liked to see him maybe in the Premier League when he first came up, but maybe he knew that his job was just a short-term fix. And like I say, I think Keegan, as I said, Keegan changed the club into what it is now.
Yeah. And you know what it is, right? He's put his face on the map as well, and for bigger and better things under Kevin. So, look, end of the day, I mean, he's done a brilliant job, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and hopefully he comes back as maybe an ambassador role or something like that. I'd love to get Kevin Keegan on our channel as well. I'm not going to sit here and say I deny that. I would love to have Keegan on our channel. That would be one of the, if you ask me something like a YouTube thing, that's one of the big ones I would love to tick off. 100%. Absolute legend.
Absolutely. Let's hope I don't get them first before you do. I'll probably get but if I do, I'll let you know, and then I'll
sit in on it.
I get your mentor. Bless you. Let's go on to we've done the first part. Now we go on to part 2. It's quick fire questions, and there's about 10 questions here as well. And first of all, I'm going to ask you, Lee, your best moment as a Newcastle fan. Your best moment.
Takeover. It has to be.
100%.
It has to be. You can mention matches and all this sort of stuff, and the memories and Arsenal 4-4 and coming back from Norwich in the Championship and certain goals and all this sort of stuff. But just for a fan base, that has to be that night. It was just party, and it felt like we won something. It was so weird, and I had toothache, so I wasn't on I wasn't on camera, so I had massive toothache for a few days, and we've done a live stream. I thought, right, lads, I'm gonna have to get into the city centre because everyone's there. Sam Fender's there, and I met up with Johnny. I met up with Adam as well. He's got a nickname in our group, the Tiny Dancer, because he's always drunk and all this, so he's dancing. And we met up with Liam, and we're seeing Rob Rubenstein and other YouTubers and all this sort of stuff. And it was just a great night, and seeing everybody cans, #cans. You know, bring that back, get it back again. And that for me, that was the most happiest. I remember just driving out of the Redgate Bridge, and I started to feel a bit emotional because I knew what was coming. I knew what we're going to see, celebrations and all that. And it was quite an emotional night, and seeing everybody party, and Tesco next door ran out of beer and all that. And that for me, because that was the moment of change, and that for me that'll be a moment where I look back on and think, wow. And even on the Newcastle United Wikipedia page, our photo is on there from the takeover that night. So that for me lives long in the memory.
I have to agree with you. I mean, I say exactly the same thing. The takeover, no ifs, no buts. I mean, look, we needed the good time to come back in Newcastle. We wanted the club back, got our club back, and believe you and me, right? I mean, I was in Cardiff that day doing my deliveries. I heard we got a takeover. Finally, I know they crashed the van as well, believe it or not. I thought, wow. So I had to pull in. I had to double check if it's true. And I said, yes, got a takeover, yeah. And then people look around us and say, what's he saying? I said, we got a takeover, Newcastle United. And they respect us for that. So I had about 3 or 4 people shake us by the hand and that sort of thing, and which is very, very rare, right? And look, it was just so moment. I was still in tears when it had happened. You needed that takeover, man. And then
fancy being in Cardiff on takeover night, man.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been to Cardiff as well. I remember going to Cardiff, and it was like all yellow brick roads, and I remember just driving out the Elton John song, saying goodbye Yellow Brick Road, because it was awful. But that was mental that you were in Cardiff for takeover night, man.
Oh man, it's one hell of a part. Oh, I wish I was there, you know. Because I missed it. I missed the good stuff, and I done takeover party. What can I say? But one day we're going to win the title, and I'll definitely be there.
I think if we won the title, the whole city will be absolutely gone off the trolley. I think, to be honest with you.
I know it'll be a public bank holiday, a Geordie bank holiday, man.
There'll be a few hangovers. There'll be a few people ringing in sick. I think. I mean, you'll be celebrating with random as "Hold Me Closer" and all this to all the other fans and hugging them and all that sort of stuff.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. Oh man, it's just gonna be amazing, amazing win a title. We deserve it. We deserve it. And your favorite player, past and present.
Oh, I've always had a thing for Nobby Solano. I love him. I absolutely love Solano. Everyone says Shearer, and I get that. I totally get that. So obviously Shearer, but I love Nobby Solano. I think he had no pace whatsoever, but oh man, his deliveries, technique, half volleys, side foot, and outside the boot goals, and all this sort of stuff. And I was devastated when he left and went to Villa. I know he came back, which was great, but I love Solano. I love Shea Given. I think he's the best goalkeeper that I've personally seen in 30 years supporting the club. He for me. So those are two big players. I went to Le Mans at Lowa's house before. So that was a bit strange as a kid because I had a girlfriend in Ponteland as a kid. So I had a thing for him for a few months. Present, it's a tough one because you could literally name like half a squad. So I've always loved Fabian Schär, but going forward, I think it has to be. I love Joe Linton as well because I love the fact that he's turned into a world beater now. He's a Brazilian international. We all laughed at him. We all wrote him off. But push comes to shove, I'd probably say Bruno. To be honest with you, I just love that he gets nuts for simple things like throwing, roll, and all this sort of stuff. He just gets nuts, doesn't he? So
he does.
Without a shadow, yeah, there's loads, but do you know what it is, John? I'll probably change my mind next week and say Kieran Trippier because there's so many, and I know Isaac's obviously becoming a fan favorite as well. But Bruno probably just for me because I love his passion, I love his guns nuts, and I like the fact he's interactive as well, a bit like ESM on Twitter. I quite like that.
I do as well. I'll come on to ASM later on, but for me, I'll say Bruno as well. Bruno's got to be for me the best signing and present at this moment in time because he's come in, he's making a difference, right? We never had the midfielder like him before, in my opinion, but he comes here and he hit the ground running.
He did. Well, he took about 3 or 4 games to get in, but soon he was in. He was in, and obviously we've seen him linked to big clubs like Real Madrid and stuff. And I think, if we would be daft to sell him because don't go break me heart because however we need to keep him in the side. Because he is for me long term. You build a team around him like we've got Tonali, we've got Joe Linton, we've got Sean now, and Willock. So looking strong and centre mid.
Yeah, I tell you, even in the Europa conference in the years to come, and he lifts that trophy, I tell you what, you will be.
Do you reckon he's captain material after what? Because after Trippier, I think you can make like Adam now like a vice captain.
I hope so. I think he'd be a brilliant captain for Newcastle United. I mean, I think he'd be brilliant. I mean, Bruno's a leader. He tells the players where to be. He takes the play, and there are players going to look up to him and saying, this guy's world class. He is world class. And I hope that if Trippier is no longer captain, Bruno G must be the captain. 110%. No.
Yeah, question. I know they've got a leadership group at the club already, but Jamal, Kieran, I think Dan Burns in there. I think Matt Ritchie's in the leadership group, but yeah, long term, I wouldn't. If he stays here long term, he'll go down the legend, and no doubt he'll be captain if he stays here long term.
100%. I mean, I think Bruno will be a legend, and trust me when I say that, I think he'd be brilliant. That guy is going to be Mr. Newcastle United, and he'll be the best foreign player ever to don the black and white shirt, in my opinion. And he lost the club.
Oh, best ever. Give it a few years. I wouldn't say that.
Give it a few years, and
I wouldn't say right now because I think it's a time scale in it. I think if you stayed here a few years, I know. But having said that, though, Ginola only had 2 years, and he's compared a lot to Ben Arthur and Rob Ayers, hasn't he? So Les Ferdinand, and obviously I've got my dog. You might have just seen him. He's named after. He would only spend 2 years, so you can do. But I think we appreciate players more once they've moved on.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And maybe gone a bit too ahead about him as well, but we love Bruno, don't we?
He's staying.
So he's staying for life. Let's continue. Let's go on to the next one. Which player that we've been linked with but didn't sign would you have liked to have seen at St James's Park?
I said this last week when I was in the live comments. Luka Modric, because we were more than just linked to him. It was either us or Spurs. And it's crazy that the board, I think it was Keegan. I'm sure it was Kevin Keegan, and the board just thought he wasn't good enough. He was too small. I was like, and you look at him now, and he's still going. At what age is he? 37, 38. Incredible player, absolutely incredible. He went to Spurs, and obviously he's a Real Madrid legend as well now. I think that's the one. And we had players like, we turned down the opportunity to sign Mo Salah on loan when he was at Zamalek. Mo Salah when he was like a teenager, and what could have been then, and look at him now. And there's loads that you could probably list, but for me, it's probably Modric, because I think if we had him, that would have made Kevin Keegan stay on that second spell a lot longer. But instead, as we all know, Dennis Wise goes signing Nacho Gonzalez behind his back in Cisco, and well, he walked out, didn't he, a few days later. But yeah, Modric for me would have been great.
100%. I think he would have been fantastic. I mean, when is it Tony Jimenez came to Toon, said he's decent, but he does so soon make the Premier League. How wrong were they? How wrong?
Crackers, man.
That's their own death warrant, man.
and I'm not very tall myself. I mean, I'm quite a short arse, but Modric is like, what's he, 5'4"? But it doesn't matter about your height. I mean, N'Golo Kante and I just moved to Saudi, but he was a beast for a good couple of years at Leicester and Chelsea. Height's got nothing to do for your ability, not for me.
Exactly, and Luka Modric's got plenty of that, and he's still got it. It's a big game player anyway. He can go on for another three more year at Madrid, and I tell you, he'll still be world class. He's that good. What do you think sets us apart from other clubs in the way we do business in the transfer window?
What now?
Yeah,
I think now, the scouting looks much better. I think money helps. Let's not kid ourselves. I think getting in the top four has obviously helped us signing Sandro Tonali, but you've always got to remember, I put a tweet out earlier on, it's great that Steve Nixon and we got them over the line, but effectively with Dan Ashworth as well going to Italy, but they wouldn't have got that man if we didn't finish fourth. So it always comes back around to Eddie Howe and the achievement that he's done. But I think we're signing players who are under a certain age, minus take out Trippier just for a second, Dan Burn, but we're going after Europe's top talent. If you look at the signings, we've got Bruno. I know he's Brazilian, but we're signing from a European club. And then we went after Isaac. We went after Tonali. We're making statement signings, I feel, and we're signing players who are fantastic now, but also can be unbelievable in progress. Eddie Howe talks about every signing that he'll progress with us. So we're signing players that are going to be here for 5 years to develop. And this one, as I say to you off camera, the Tonali one is the biggest statement signing for me, because we've just rated one of Europeans' giants to take the star boy away. So
yeah,
unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And I think I know the PIF heavily criticised for buying clubs in Saudi and buying players and what have you, but for us, it's fantastic that we're getting these top names, and I think 1 or 2 will come for the door over the summer.
Yeah. Okay.
The dog's snoring, by the way, so if you hear him in the background, it's not me.
No, that's fine. That is fine. And just on that question, do you think, in your opinion, the owners should tell us that, say we look to a player, say we look to the Szoboszlai, obviously he's not going to come now, and do you think Newcastle owners should come out and say, no, we're not after him, or do you think let it carry on?
Not during the transfer market, I don't think so, but I think come September 1st, if there was to be, because we've seen Jimmy Rubin do a podcast. If Jimmy Rubin says we were in for Szoboszlai, but he went to Liverpool, but there was only half interest, there was never a bid made or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. But I think during the transfer window, no, because what if your first target fails? You need that second choice. So not during the transfer window. I think it's too risky for me. But afterwards, I don't mind. Because the communication is fantastic with the owners. Yep. They've only had a small bit of negativity, which was about the ticket rise. But apart from that, they've done everything fantastically well. So not during the transfer window, no.
Fair enough. There's another question for you. I think you might have covered it anyway. Do you think the owners have massively ramped up the expectation, or are we still approaching the rebuilding slowly?
Well, I think the thing is, if you look at Ashley and Charney and you look at the owners, the two massive parallels apart from each other. Because even when things went wrong, we'd get a tiny little statement on the club's website, and it would never ever be, the reason behind whatever decision they've done, whether sacked a manager or brought in a player on loan, and it was never ever a sorry, and our sorry seems to be the hardest word, but there was never an apology, there was never a reason behind it. But with this, you get clarity with the new owners, and I love that. And I also love the fact that they've got a bit of, especially the lads, Jamie and Mia Dad, have a bit of camaraderie between them and a bit of banter, and they wind each other up. And that's great because, yes, it's work effectively for them. But you go to work, John, you've got to have a bit of banter whilst you're at work, and I have to have a bit of banter. You kind of get through your day. So bring it on. Love it.
Absolutely. That's what we love to have. Banter all the way through. That's what we love as well in this place. Next question. What do you see us achieving in the coming season?
So I think we've got to just take a step back and say, right, we've hit a top 4, we've hit a cup final. If we don't finish top 4, I think just take a step back and think, because there will be people out there, oh, he's got to go, he's got it. There will be them dafties that are out there who'll be on social media saying that. Let's say, I don't know, because the first few games are really, really difficult. Let's just say we don't win any of them, the first 4 or 5 games. Just, stick with it. Stick with it. Don't be hesitate. I was a little bit surprised by when Yasser done the interview with the club, though, that he expected Champions League, and me and Sam on the channel were like, ooh, that's a bit surprising, because there's a little bit of pressure, because I didn't expect top 4. You didn't, John. I mean, we've all took, if I said to you finished top 8 in the cup final, probably took that. But now we're a couple of years ahead of ourselves. So even if we go into the Europa League next season, great. We've got another season in Europe. It's still money coming in, not as much, but it's still money coming in. And even in the Champions League, if we don't perform in this Champions League, because we are expected to get probably a group of death, great. We've got, even if we don't qualify, we've got something to play for third place. Third place gets Europa League. You go for the Europa League, you win the Europa League, guess what happens? Bang, you're back in the Champions League. So I think expectations, you've just got to be a little bit realistic that, yes, we're bringing in Tonali, yes, we're bringing in a couple of players, but if we done a like-for-like next season, top 4, and not win anything, I'll take it. If we finish the Europa League and not win anything, I think we've got to be consistent now, finishing in the top 6.
I'll have to agree. I mean, look, we could get PSG, Real Madrid, Milan, and Newcastle in the group.
I want that, mate. I want it.
Wow. I'm not so sure, man. I want the easiest one.
Have confidence in your team. See if we got Milan, because they're in pot 3, aren't they? That'll be ironic. And then see if we get Real Madrid and Dortmund. I mean, if we get Dortmund away, war flags have to go over. As simple as that, because you've got to go against. I mean, that would just be, you've just got to have the ticket admission alone just to see the yellow wall bounce off war flags. That would be.
Oh, man.
Give me the group of death, because I reckon we can finish 3rd. We'll take points off people at home, without a shadow of a doubt. And you've never seen a Macam in Milan, have you?
Hey!
There'll be plenty more. There's 10,000 for that Inter game when we finished 2-2. I wasn't one of them, fortunately, but I think there'll be just as many, if not more, for if we pull out one of the Milan clubs. Unreal, man.
I tell you what, there will be a cracking draw. We will get to be a cracking draw. And there's no easy games in the Champions League, my guy. And I tell you what, we're going to enjoy it. Yes, that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
And also, as well, is that because of all the trips as well, it's excitement for the fans as well, going abroad to the big cities, because we're not going to get some random team in Slovenia. We're all going to go to the big cities across Europe. So I know you like a trip to Italy, and I know you'll be buzzing if we got an Italian team. But I think it's for fans traveling, it's going to be class. They can stay out all night. They can drink, they can have a respectable, of course, there will be. Jody's like, we'll make friends and they'll stay. They'll stay all night and don't let the sun go down on me. And they'll stay out at midnight and 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It'll be hangovers galore. It'll be great. Couple of days away. Fantastic, man.
Absolutely. I would love to do that. If I get a ticket, I'll go. If I don't, then I don't fucking.
Would you go even if you didn't have a ticket?
That's a very good question. If I got time off, I could.
Like you spend 2. Yeah, because even when I've said the lads, like when we go to these Champions League games, I'm not just going there and back in one day. I'm going there to spend at least 2 or 3 days in the city. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm not paying £500 for flights just to see a game of football. I want to be there amongst it for a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I probably would for the crack, like, you know what I mean? Because there you support the team, even though you can't get in the stadium. But I think in Italy, I think it'd be slightly easier. So if you can get a ticket. If you've got a passport and you've got a business ticket, they don't care where you're from. You can still get in. That's what I was told. But
I'll see you in an Italian jail. I'll make sure you vlog it though.
Yes, I definitely will.
You'll get some views, put it that way.
Exactly. But it's nice to keep it quiet. There you go. Let's go on to the next one. Going back to Nftv, a lot of guys like Sam, Johnny, and Carl feature on the channel. Was it easy to give up control in respect of certain shows after starting this whole journey as a solo project?
Nah, I wanted them to have more control. I still do, because I still do too much, I feel. So I still want them to do more. It's like the things that, like, it's the behind the scenes stuff, because it's all fine coming on camera and talking, and that's it. That's the easiest job in the world. It's doing stuff behind the scenes that the viewer doesn't see. So it's the editing, it's the uploading, it's like, for example, an away day, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I love going down, I love doing the match, but then after the match, I hate it because it's all me on my own. So it's still a bit of a struggle. So I'll be sat in the car for 2-3 hours, and then I'm heading home, and I look at home, and it's stuff that you don't see. That in itself could be a video idea in itself. In the winter, it's cool. But yeah, they are learning, which is good. Giving up control, no, I wanted them to go and express the stuff. And I think Johnny and Sam's podcast is great because a lot of it I don't have to interact. They might change the odd thumbnail and here and there, but that's fine. I'd love Carl to have his own show on a regular basis. And obviously we've got a team which run the socials as well, which I'm part of as well. And we're recruiting in a minute. So we're going to have some new faces, which is exciting. So yeah, I don't want to just be, right, our lads, come on, I don't want to be that guy. Like, go on, go and make your videos, go and make your shows. That's what you're here for. That's why you joined. So a couple of them have done that, which is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done a show yesterday with Sabrina last night. So the scouting report, that's the first time I've ever done scouting report on Tonali. And I tell you what, half an hour, it worked an absolute treat, and she really enjoyed coming on my show, and that's one of my best moments.
I bet the viewers enjoyed that as well. So she's a good looking woman, John.
She is indeed. Hey, I got a partner, and I'm happy with my partner. I love her so much, but she's a very, very, very good expert as well on time.
I keep it clean.
Yes, she could be watching now. She could be watching.
Like a candle in the wind.
Exactly. And we've got one here as well. You clearly invest a lot of time and effort into your channel. How do you see Nftv evolving?
We're always changing. Like, we've got an office. We're always investing. I think that's the thing. We don't go out and pay ourselves. We do it all voluntary. The money that we make from things like YouTube ads and sponsors, and that's where we put it back in, which is brilliant. We'd love to do it full time, but we can't feed 10 people on full time wages. It's just not sustainable. But having said that, we've achieved a lot with things like getting an office, and the people that follow us, and getting people on and going to be asked to go on TV and whatever it may be. There's always things that'll happen. YouTube's always changing, so we'll ride with the times. I don't know what that'll be, but as I say, at the minute we're just recruiting to help with the demand, because as I say, Champions League night, I'm going to be busy. People will enjoy it, and I would need to have some help on away travels and stuff like that. So who knows? But it's just keep making content, keep creating quality content as well, because I am conscious of things like that. So, but yeah, I think every channel that's on YouTube, I think they all do fantastic jobs, but every channel has to have someone who is the leader, who is forcing it, who's the driver. There's always one, and if you look at every channel, even if they're individuals or in a group, there's always somebody who has to push and push and push. So I'm that guy.
Absolutely. I could tell you your passion for the channel, Lee. You work so hard. I mean, we watch your channels as well, and I tell you what, the work you put into is absolutely unbelievable, and you're going to go a long way. I'm telling you, your channel's going to go all the way to the destiny, to the very top. And
that's nice here, but we'll take it step by step. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. I love it.
Big things for your channel as well. You've gone to 5K already, which is an achievement itself. So what's yours? 10K next?
10K next, and I wanted to be ambitious as I can. I mean, just do quality content, Lee. Do the best you can. Do something different. Get all the big names on your channel. You do that, then it'll go a long, long way.
Do you know what that's down to, though? That's just down to hard graft and reputation. So small things like having a mic, it can go a long way. It's simple stuff, bright lights, dead simple. Yes. The clear background, dead simple. It's small things that go a big way, because if you're approaching your next guest, John, who's, I don't know, an ex-footballer, the first thing they're going to do is check you out on Twitter, check you out on Facebook or YouTube, what you're about, are you reputable, all that sort of stuff. So that's why I mean by small things like mics, cameras, lights go a massive long way.
Absolutely, absolutely right. I mean, they're not just going to say, yes, I'll come on, blah, blah, blah. Like you just said there, they're going to check you out on everything as well to see, and they probably watch you on the previous channel so to see if you're good enough and exciting as well. But at the end of the day,
you've got to be also, that comes with experience on camera, because when I was first on camera, I didn't want to be on camera. I was nervous as out. So, but then you gain the confidence, and then you'll gain the knowledge of progressing with like little simple things. So keep pushing, and do other stuff. Do something different as well, as my advice for anybody. Don't just do what everyone else does, because you don't stand out.
I could have to agree. I mean, you mentioned there doing something different. I mean, I thought I'd do a scouting report on Tonali, and I've got Sabrina on me, sure. And I did it on the recorded version, and I dropped it at 10 o'clock, and it started, and it went out live, even though I did a recorded show. And I mean, 26, I think I had 26 people watched it, and I've got about 500 viewed it at the minute. Just over 500 viewed it, which is quite good. So I'm happy at that, and it just goes to show.
I think also as well, like a lot of the some YouTubers and probably a lot of the audience see views as the main thing, but YouTube goes by how long they've watched it. That's just as important, because YouTube will push that video. So if you make, because the thing that I love doing is documentaries, but they take so much time out of us.
They do,
because it's at least 20 hours of editing, at least, and the long-winded. So, but I like them to come out, and when it's finally finished, you think, great, I like that, I love that.
Exactly. It's all about quality content. You don't need to be going off for hours and hours and hours. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you got to do it just at the right time. You got to have do your homework, research how long it's going to be. Do you really need to do a live show to do the scouting report? Do you really want to do a live show to do what do you call it, quick thoughts? You don't need to really, but at the end of the day,
even things like I have a mic, simple, sounds better. Yeah,
exactly. Just do outside, sort of. That's what I do now.
Tweak. As I say, we've been doing it 7 years. I'm still learning myself. Still learning. Like, we changed with streaming system, and I'm still learning about that, because that's little things like that gets me excited as well. That I'm learning something new and going to bring the audience different things. We've only scratched the surface, but this is what the channel needed. It needed a new direction. So it's little things that keep me going.
Absolutely well said, man. Because at the end of the day, right? I mean, I listen to podcasters as well. I take it all in, learn from them, and I just take it on the board. And that's the main thing.
Same as what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. We learn every day, Lee. We learn every day.
Every day is a school day.
Exactly. And finally, before you open up the questions from the chat, you followed the lads to Saudi and put some excellent content. Now you are off to USA. I would love to go to USA myself. Can we expect more of the same?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect when I went to Saudi, because you hear all the Western media stuff, didn't you?
Yeah.
It completely changed. I felt after about a day and a half, I felt safe in my environment. I knew where I was going. It's the Uber drivers are friendly. I use Uber to get around. That were really, really cheap, considering I know Uber's obviously a massive part of Saudi life now. But even things like, that have a lot of, it's heavily influenced by, funny enough, America and Japan as well. A lot of the cars are American, Japanese. There's McDonald's, there's Subways, there's Burger Kings. All the big brands are out there. So I went to some of the events by Seller, funny enough, which you've got on your shirt as well. So I went to some of their fan adventure experiences as well, and a lot of people were speaking to me, and especially the Al Hilal game where I was sat. A lot of the kids around me, they only must be between 12 and 16, asking what do I do, and they all wanted to be on YouTube, and they're all subscribing to me there and then, and all this sorts of, they wanted to know about Newcastle, and they wanted to become, because obviously it's the PIF are pushing it heavily, and they were very interested, and I wanted to do some things about Saudi. And obviously it's strange because my most viewed video is about me talking about Saudi Arabian people, which is mental. But America, I want to do little things, like I'm going to be doing play stuff on the plane, I'm meeting Steve over there, who's American as well. So we're going to have little things like teaching a Geordie American and vice versa, and teaching American Geordie, sorry, the other way around, and daft stuff as well, fun stuff as well to show personalities off, because this is the time to do it rather than just football, serious stuff. I want to do some daft stuff. So, and obviously Philadelphia is the first one. So seeing there, Philadelphia Freedom, as I call it, down to Atlanta, and then back up to New Jersey/New York. So looking forward to it.
Wow, you deserve it, Lee. You work so hard where you want to be. So big up to you, my guy. And I'll tell you what, I mean, next year, it'd be me next year. I want to do America, Saudi next year.
I'll do it. I've done America a few times. I think I'm going to be jet lagged because I'm doing 5 flights in 7 days.
Wow.
So yes.
You be careful. You be careful.
Cheers,
right, that wraps up the part 2. Now we're going to open up the questions to the panel. And the guys who like the video, like what you see, please like, subscribe, and also follow Lee on Newcastle Fans TV. He's got some cracking content as well. I know Richard's got a random question. Can he F1 race at the weekend?
Yes, I'm a big F1 fan. So yeah. Ferrari finally got the act together and actually achieved a good race. So it's been a bit of a disaster season for Ferrari, but yeah, the weekend was much more pleasant.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for Lee, we will not have Nftv.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I want the rest of the guys to catch up to where I am and do stuff on the code, so Nftv can run. If I'm ill for 4 or 5 days, you know, things like that, they can run on its own. But yeah, thank you for that.
No problem. So on this was scanning to be sacked off Blackburn, so we came them conversation. I was fuming for what they did with Sir Bobby. Ronald, so was I. So was I. Who is better, Monana or Greenwood?
No comment. I'll upset them. No, I'll add to that. I think Sam's fantastic at booking guests behind the scenes, which Johnny should be doing a lot more of. However, Johnny is a fantastic presenter, which Sam can learn a lot from Johnny. There we go. Diplomatic view.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Long-time watcher, first-time commentator.
No, he's not.
Wow. I tell you, we got done, didn't we? What's your favourite way, Dave, this you know that, don't you, Lee? What's your favourite way, Dave, the season? Well, last season now, I suppose. Keep up the good work.
Sam does a great impression of you, by the way. Did you do it last week?
I did with Sam.
He's a massive fan of yours. He absolutely adores you. When we've got WhatsApp open, all he ever talks about, John Sinclair's released a video and all this. I'm like, God, Sam, give it a rest, man.
Hey!
I think he's your biggest fan. Best away day. Oh, there's loads. Had a good time with Forrest, with Sam, especially post match filming. There was a lot happening around her. That was fun. Someone got arrested in front of one the last word. There was police all over the place. We took the last word on a walk. We did fan cams on a walk, and we ended up in the traffic junction. So that was quite funny last word. But there's loads I can name. But I think Forest away with Sam would be probably the best one.
Yeah, I mean Southampton, the Carling Cup semi was brilliant. Absolutely, I met you there, didn't I? You saw us as well. What a time!
That was so strange, man. Because that was the second time in Southampton I went down. The first time I slept in my car, which is well known, and then the next time I came down, which is the final, you were parked right in front of me, my friend. Who's there? Because I parked there last time, and I think, who's this twat who's parked in my space? So then I got up my car, and there's John Sinclair in his Audi. Drives it that way.
I was warming it up for. I was warming up.
Drives an Audi, this bloke, drives an Audi. He's minted.
Wow, Ivori. Wow.
Yeah, and I thought, oh well, I can just squeeze in behind him, but that was good catching up with you as well.
It was. I mean, look, it got about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I still had time, and walked around Southampton. It was great, and really enjoyed it, man. Absolutely.
I don't like it. I'm pleased they've gone down, I'm not going to lie, because it's the middle of nowhere. It's a nightmare to drive, and there's nout next to the stadium. It's a good mile walk back to the city centre. But thank God they've gone down.
Oh, I know. It's just a shame because it's not far away from where I live. Only 2 hours drive, but yeah, it is what it is. But there's other.
You still got Bournemouth. I still want rid of them as well. By the way,
still got what?
I still want rid of Bournemouth. Get them gone as well.
Yeah, so we don't have far to travel, don't we? I mean, if Craig's listening, sorry, Craig. He's a big Bournemouth fan, bless him. John, will you get Eddie Howe, Midrad, Amanda, and Stuart on this podcast one day? Do you know what? If I just get one of them, that would be absolutely.
Love to get Amanda. We've briefly got Mia Dad on, but I'd love to get Amanda on.
Yes, get him on. Get her on. That'd be amazing. And hi, John, top guest you have on. Goulers against the Geordie Boys of the Premier this year. I'll tell you what, that'd be brilliant. Ding dong battle. Hope we win it, Andy. Hope we win it, mate. We love Andy. He comes on my channel before as well. And he speaks a lot of sense as well. Leland already knows from Rafe. Great choice.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Adam's a bit of a Mickey taker. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Tiny dancer, what he is.
We love him. Bless him. Bless him. I don't think there's enough bold NUSC YouTubers if you ask him. Oh, Lee, you getting it tonight, are you?
And I shave your head then, Sam. Become one of us.
Exactly. I remember when Ashley took over, I thought, here we go. How wrong was I, Richard? You're not on the same boat, mate. I was on the same boat as you as well. Surely Lee's best moment as a Newcastle fan was sharing a room with him, Johnny for Wembley. Is this truly?
Yeah, we shared a room. We had 3 beds. We had 2 beds. We had a double. Me and Johnny went top and tail.
Yeah.
And Johnny and Sam had the single bed. Sam's like 6'8" or something. Had a single bed. But Sam decided to get all up at 7 a.m. And me and Johnny we were not happy. 7 a.m. just so you can have a 5-minute interview on MUTV. We were livid.
I bet. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, you can have a little disagreements there. I know it's a bit of banter, but at the end of the day, as long as you get along.
Oh, it was a great day, though. It was a great day, except because I'm not a morning person. My day off, I like to get up when there's no alarm clocks. On my days off, forget the world. But 7 o'clock that's normal for Sam, but not for me.
Fair enough.
Great day, though. It was a fantastic day.
Oh, brilliant. I went to Wembley. I had a ticket about 2 weeks.
Did I see you at Wembley?
You didn't, mate. No, you didn't.
I seen Sharky. Were you not with Sharky?
I wasn't. No, what I did, I went to Trafalgar Square and I met a few people. People recognized us from my channel. And who I met? I met Paul for Toon Review, Alex. I met the usual people, Proudlock as well. Met him as well. And if memory serves us right, I mean, I spoke to Macy from the link as well. I'm in the stadium as well, but the reception was very good. But other than that, I just hardly see
you. Yeah, we were there from 9 a.m. So we bumped it loads of people.
I know.
Loads.
Yeah, I was at Trafalgar. I was there for about 4 o'clock, and then I there to about 8:30. Just went straight back to Hillingdon. I stopped at Hillingdon, West London. That's where I stayed.
Yeah, we went South Mims, so that was a bit of a trek.
It was, wasn't it? Tube is a mare, absolute mare. But we'll definitely do Wembley again. If we do, I'll be there again. If all the Newcastle YouTubers got together and form a footy team, who would play what position? For me, I like to play in goal, but I'd love to be a CDM.
Oh, you sure your old age can hack being in goal, John, flinging yourself around left, right, and centre? You'll come out with black and blue blues as you.
Nah.
I'll probably I'm a good goal. I think I'm a good goalkeeper, but I can also play on the right wing as well. But put a bit of weight on since my teenage days.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Paul
CDM.
said.
Oh yeah, I reckon you're nice and friendly in person, but when you get on that pitch, you see red. You're like a bull. You see mist, and you think attack.
I know what you mean, man. Wow. I mean, well, I'm 6'2", so you know, whether I'm quick enough, I'll probably need to lose another stone to get round the pitch, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So if I do that, I'll be over.
Play walking football.
Yeah, walking football would be cool. Yeah,
it's hard on what you think. You know, we've done that. It's hard on what you think you can't run, because when you're playing walking football, your brain naturally tells you to run, doesn't it? So you can't run. You've got to think. I mean, it's so strange playing that.
Exactly. You got to be a football brain, and you just got to go for it. Like, you know, just take a guess. That's what I do now. But well, if I lost another stone, I'll be fine. But not as quick as you, Lee. You're 33, so.
Well, I'm not 33, but thanks for that. Add 3 more years onto that.
Wow. No, I'm wrong.
I'll take 33. I'm going to clip that up.
It's then, Mr. Lawyer. 33 it is.
I'll clip that up now and use it against Mr. Mulliner.
Yes, I'll tell you what, though.
My guy.
Let's go on to Katie T. Hi, Kate. First of all, tell Jonathan so about your dad's loss, and hopefully you're both okay now, and hope you're fine, and hope I'm bearing up as well. And name his dog after his favorite player, man. Christopher Lee, how is Gary Neville off camera? does he ever stop talking?
Do you know what it is? He's more banterful off camera, Gary. So I think with Gary Neville, you can have a bit of a laugh with him. You can have a joke with him. You always like to be the political one as well. And I think off camera, he's just, because the camera's not rolling, a lot of people have, I wouldn't say he fakes it, no, because I think he speaks his mind. I think he is pretty good when he does it. Same with Jamie Carragher as well. But I think, yeah, I've got a lot of time for Gary Neville. So I know he gets a lot of stick, but I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's fine. I think he's honestly off camera. I think you'll see a different side of him. I think you do with naturally with other people as well. I think so especially like, for example, I mentioned Ramsey, HITC, who used to be part of that channel as well. We know him personally, so he's a lot more calm. He's very, you know what made me saying this is he wears very flamboyant clothes as well, which you don't see on video. But you see different personalities, don't you? Off camera, they're totally different.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, Gary Neville is a good pundit on the football, I think. But
he speaks his mind, which I do like.
He speaks his mind, which I think is great. But some of the times when it comes to Newcastle, sometimes he gets it right and sometimes he gets it wrong. But that's the thing. That's Gary Neville all the way through. But look,
what a Sam asking. Yeah.
What Washing Machine Dial? You keeping that new show pristine? Definitely a hot point. Am I right? It is a hot point machine as well. By the way, I'm not gonna. Don't think I can lie. I have to check it because it's my mum's sort of thing.
Mine's a Becko.
Exactly. Rod's favourite player was Peter Beardsley. He went to talk of Swanwell Social Club as a kid, and Peter Albert Craig were there. He explained if he went to Liverpool, it was McKeag, as he wanted a pay rise. I love it. I love it. Alan wants Joe Linton on as a captain. A message for me. And Jonathan, I'm very sorry to ring you up the other night from Jonathan. That is absolutely fine, Kate. I mean, you got my number, yeah. If you want to contact on Facebook, whatever, you just give us a call, okay? And I'm open to a chat at any time. So, and they know to come and be Oshwi channel anywhere. They're really, really good. Yeah, big up to Liam, by the way. I hope you came, mate. It was Dennis Wise. I didn't want to sound knowledge. Wow.
He's getting married actually soon, Liam. So congratulations. So.
Congratulations, Liam, on your marriage, mate, and hope you have a fantastic one.
Yeah, I think it's I think he met his bird at the job centre and they fell in love.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yes, wish him all the best as well. He sounds a good guy. I thought we had jumped on Harry Kane. Is he top at Tottenham? They're not going to sell him, but for me, what's this Harry Kane situation? He's supposed to. I don't think the league wants to go. We'll send to another.
It's a tough eve of Kane in it because he's only got 12 months left. Does Spurs cash in? Because he goes for free next season. It's a tough one for Spurs.
Certainly is. They got a decision. They got a decision to make. Absolute pleasure to be back in such a fantastic chat. Anyone offer a debate?
What's his name?
It's Mass.
I've read it.
Wow. Welcome back, Mass, by the way. And it's always really come on my channel as well. And pleasure to be back in Sam. It was great to see you joining your Tom and John show last week. You
haven't stopped talking about it all week, Sam. Oh, when Johnson closed, I've ticked it off. He gets proper giddy, but yeah, honestly, he's your biggest fan, John.
He is. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I think he will drop Greenwood, and I think he'll go for Sinclair and Mulliner show in the future. Mark me words.
I love that. Do it. Program goes straight facts. That means, as we say, how it is, and we just go through the debates. That'd be a cracking show. Would the real Adam P please stand up? Listen, Adam P is a fantastic YouTuber. He is brilliant. And Organised, hope Johnson read your name out tonight, which I did, unfortunately, but he's a good guy. And Don speaks fluent Italian, so you have no problems in Milan. That's some Foxy, yeah. Remember that time I did 100 quid bets? I thought was going to come to Milan. Italian? No, just I said no to 1 to 10, just basic sort of thing. Like, you know, I could say like
hello,
good evening, buonasera,
buongiorno,
buongiorno, come sta, bene, grazie. And if I said to you, bella giornata, that means what a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
Yes, thank you, Foxy. And he's a South American expert as well, by the way. Lee, is it truly with this guy? That's Sam.
Yes,
is he a runner? He does.
I've worked for Sky for 13 years.
Nice. Big up, big up. I've got the biggest name outgoing. And go for it as well. And is your dream signing?
It was my dream signing. I've always loved Messi, but he's past. Oh, he's not past it. He's just too old, and he's gotten into Miami.
Yeah, he's gone there as well.
Do you know who I would love? And I know if you could, if money wasn't a thing and Newcastle were a global brand like big, Vinicius Jr. He would solve your left wing position there and then. That's your dream signing. That's never going to happen, but I think that would be your dream signing. Left wing, done. Sorted for the next 10 years.
110%. 110%. That guy, best winger in the world for me. Left winger in the world for me.
Brilliant.
Absolutely by a mile. We're going over 10 more minutes as well. That's all right, Lee. I know you're a busy guy. You got stuff to do. So, JC, Joseph Connor Gordon. And he's certainly the Gordon boy tonight. Keep up the great work, John. Thank you so much, JC. I'm going to call him JC as well. And work rate unmatched. What does this work rate unmatched means? Oh, no. What does it mean, Lee?
No, I think it's not Adam P. Work rate unmatched. I think that's what they're on about.
Yeah. Your channel's been great. Helping the food banks. That's from Alan. Thank you, Alan. Loving these channel collabs. Jules, thank you very much indeed. We love you having on as well. And John, why not do merch on your channel? Well, Alan, I could be wrong with this, Lee. I don't think I've got enough subs.
Oh, is this for the YouTube built in?
Yeah, I don't think I've got enough subs.
I think it's 10K, but I know they've reduced. They reach out to individuals sometimes if they're consistent. We've looked at it, but it's not something that we've pushed massively. But who knows? But what would you have? What would you sell? Would you sell a saying? My guy, there you go. My guy.
Yay! Yeah, t-shirts and that.
And then a picture from Sinclair.
And a cup as well. And
there you go.
I mean, Calvin Klein would be better, but keep that one quiet. Couldn't be sponsor, you never know. John, you're the one I missed on here until Lee mentioned you the other night on Newcastle Fans TV. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you very much. What a great guy. I mean,
maybe that's what clubs do. You pick enough subs. Happy days.
Absolutely. And if you do it right and you treat them, that'd be fantastic. And Lee, do you need any graphic designers? AW10.
Help is, I'm not against it, no. But if you want to reach out, just email us because there is some stuff we would like. But why not? Why not message her?
Yeah. Absolutely. I've got a lesson there. Sold. Bless him. Keep up the good work, Van Sam. And what was Lee's first away match? Mine was 87 against Tottenham. Spurs at 13-15. 1,000 Jordan. We got robbed, but what a day. That's with Ronnie Wood.
Well, I've already mentioned it was Gateshead at the International Stadium. Technically, that was my first match, which was at Gateshead when we won 4-0 in 95.
Fantastic.
So that is technically my first away game, yeah.
Fair enough.
Lee, but the one ground, because obviously we go every home and away game. Luton, I would like to experience Luton to see what that's all about.
Absolutely. I've done Luton before. Did
you go for a house?
I did. Yeah. But I just think it's a tiny stadium. Like, you know what I mean? The atmosphere there.
I locked all the glass down, haven't they, to try and get more health and safety, more people in.
Absolutely. I think, me personally, I think they need a new stadium. To be fair, they're on about getting a new stadium.
They are. That's called it's called Plough or something. Plough.
Yeah. Plough. It
wasn't 15, mind you. Just on that, Adam, as well, because we got beat off a few years ago off Magpie Channel 5-1, and I went in goal. Was it second half? I conceded one. I think that was the same game. Can't remember which one it was, but had no defense, and we had a lot of kids who hadn't played football for a while.
Sure.
It's me being polite.
Yeah, very polite. Bless. Lee is a great keeper. He exceeded 15 when we played the Magpie channel. Wow.
We got to be 5-1, but I wasn't in goal for all of that.
Lee wishes 33. Bless. Classic Sinclair, my guy.
I tell you that you need to merch that. Now we should have now John Sinclair TV and then my guy next to it. That should be your catchphrase across everywhere.
Hashtag my guy.
Keep seeing it and keep seeing it. It'll get recognized and people know you for that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love saying my guy.
Do you know what Sam's got one as well? It's
yeah. God.
That one, Sam's.
Sam, if I get 10K, I would definitely look into it as well. 110%. Yeah, I could vouch for John. He can certainly chat. Wow. And Pete, I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. I'm really fair. What did you do for Sky?
So when I first joined, when did I join? 2010. I was on the phones to customers. Does Lee playing at over 40 league? No, I'm still in my 30s. Give it another 4 years. So it was more customer based, and then I've done I've done marketing. I've looked after teams before. I've been on trials for products. So, for example, most recent trial I've done with Sky Stream. I was the tester of that, making sure it works. Video editing. I've done video editing. I've done a video edit for Sky Glass just last week. So I've done a mixture of all sorts. And I've been there 13 years. So, yeah, they pay me well. So, basically, and I have to say they're absolutely fantastic because they're allowing me to go to every game, which not many companies and many workplaces do. So, people criticize them for the prices and whatever, but that's not my kind of area. But what they do for employees are unbelievable. Can't credit them enough for that.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, working for Sky is a massive thing. If you work for Sky, that'd be brilliant. I mean, future career as well. You can get any job in the world for that, and that is
there's a lot of pros and benefits to it. Like, you know, if something's happening in football terms, we'll know about it and stuff like that, and you know, we can't say anything. So that's probably the frustrating part. But yeah, we've got contacts like Keith and Pete as well, Pete Graves, and Keith Downey. So yeah, it's good. And I've been down London a few times to the Sky Sentinel. So yeah, it's good.
Great stuff. And just a few more questions. First of all, are you going to Rangers against Newcastle in the friendly?
I'll be at Rangers. It's going to Gateshead on the Saturday, Rangers on the Tuesday. Then I'm off abroad to America on the weekend. So it's a busy week.
Yeah. I'll be there as well. I've got my.
I think there's a few. We'll try and look for you. There's a few. Johnny's up there. Carl's up there. I'm up there. Sam, I don't think he is.
I mean, I'm going to go up on a Monday and go back on a Wednesday because well,
it's a long drive for you though. It's only 2 hours for us, but I still don't know what I'm doing, if I'm staying over or if I'm going to be sat in the car all night. I'm not sure yet.
I mean, yeah, I've got booked me hotels as well for 2 nights, and which I'm quite happy with to do. And I've gone to me last for 5 days, going to Glasgow.
Are you driving up?
I'm driving up.
Do you know what you should go and see? Because I did this with my little one. You should go and see all of the locks up just up Scotland. You're probably only about a half an hour drive past Glasgow, and there's some beautiful scenery. It's like an upgraded version of the Lake District. It's stunning.
Wow, all of the locks.
Yeah, on that west side, go and have a look at it. It's incredible.
Cool. I think I will do, man. I will do, because I'll be got there quite early as well.
Especially there for 2 days. It's only half an hour drive up from Glasgow.
Sure. And I'll do like a little clip as well to say where I'm at, where the latest and that as well. So I'm going to do as well. Surprise people. So let's go through some more comments quickly before we can wrap up the show. And let's look at this one here. Please like and share. Thank you, Leslie. Does Lee never take the Bens to the matches?
Nah, my daughter's completely against football. She hates it, which is a shame, whereas I'm literally obsessed. But then again, I wouldn't change that. You know what I mean? She's at different things for a reason. I wouldn't put it on my kids to, you must like football. I wouldn't do that.
Fair enough. Isn't that a Kanye West song?
What is he on about my guy?
Yeah.
I don't know, is it?
I think so. I know he had a hit single, All Falls Down, and Diamonds Are Forever. He has some good songs as well. I'm not a big Kanye West fan, to be fair, but
I've heard none of his stuff for years. But then again, what was he going out with Kardashian?
Kardashian,
Is he still with her?
I don't think he is. I don't think they are at the minute. Or the locks. I don't think he is.
Yeah. Sam's the guy who knows all the reality stuff, so if you should ask him.
Definitely. Well, Towie as well.
Towie's more for Adam. Adam Phillips loves Towie. He's always got it on. He goes on about because he used to go out with one of the girls on it or something. You were saying, so he's always on about Towie.
Wow, I tell you what, though, I watched Towie a couple of times. Let's be honest. I mean, you have
it's on Love Island.
It is, isn't it? I mean, Love Island. I don't watch it, Lee. I don't watch Love Island.
Johnny watches Love Island. Just putting it out there. Wow. Johnny Greenwood watches Love Island. You're a disgrace, Johnny.
Wow. Make sure his wife don't find out as well. Lee, I heard house number 10 in Luton is doing free bacon sandwiches and tea and coffee before the games.
You doing Luton? I'll not have the bacon, but yeah, I'll have the other sandwiches. I'll have the bread.
Fantastic.
It's mental that one for someone's house.
Oh man, I tell you what, sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches, wow, any day of the week. And I haven't been to Glasgow, but enjoying my raves and Edinburgh at the Res. Going back a long way, my guy. Going back a long way. But still, guys, gonna wrap it up there. Going through the comments as well. And Lee, you'll be an absolute honor, mate, to have you on my channel for the first time. You're a legend. We love you. And can you just tell the viewers where we can find you for those who don't know, please?
I just thought I'd bring little Ferdinand up. I forgot to mention Les Ferdinand as well. How could I forget
Les Ferdinand as well?
as one of my well, he influences as a kid. Newcastle Fans TV website, newcastlefanstv.com, social media, same name, Newcastle Fans TV. So yeah, come have a look, check it out if you don't know who we are. Isn't that right, little man? Want to be down?
And Ferdinand says,
see Ferdinand again. He picked up there. Ferdinand. So he has pop up.
He has pop up. He says yes. He says yes as well. He has his moment of freedom.
Well, thank you very much for having us on, John. Absolute pleasure.
Don't let me go yet. Don't go in there yet, because you know, I'm gonna say my bit as well. And also, if you like the video, like what you see, guys, please give it a like, give it a subscribe as well. And if super chats are open, and give what you want. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. And if you do become a member, then you automatically enter in a draw for within 50 quid worth of e-vouchers as well. So thank you, Alan. Thanks, JB, Ronald, Leslie, and Sam. Thank you so much indeed for coming on. And until then, guys, I should be back tomorrow for the transfer show. And until then, guys, it's a winner, lads.